Thank you, House Chair. House Chair, the fiscal framework and revenue proposals must be considered against recent GDP figures, which show that after rallying in the third quarter of 2022, GDP declined by 1.3% in the fourth quarter. And we in the ACDP find this alarming, as it is far higher than the 0.4% expected by economists. The third quarter, as we know, was marred by near-permanent load shedding between stages 2 and 6, which was in effect from September 2022, impacting finance, trade, mining, agriculture, manufacturing, and general government services. And this does not bode well for subsequent quarters, with the distinct possibility of a technical recession should similar negative economic growth be recorded for the first quarter of this year. This, as every single day, has featured load shedding, but with higher levels. Now, the SA Reserve Bank cut its growth projection to 0.3% on the presumption of only 200 days of load shedding. With 66 days of load shedding already, this may be surpassed. National Treasury's economic growth projection of 0.9% determines the fiscal framework and revenue projections. The ACDP shares the Finance Committee's concerns about escalating debt levels as set out in the report. National Treasury expects to achieve a primary surplus in 2023, and the consolidated deficit is expected, according to National Treasury, to narrow at a faster rate than previously estimated. However, and this is the big however, should GDP figure come in lower than projected and in line with the Reserve Bank's 0.3%, then it would impact negatively on these estimates and figures. Gross loan debt is now expected to stabilize 3 years later and at a higher level than projected in last October's MDT BPS at a staggering 5.8 trillion rand. The debt levels remain unacceptably high and threatens not only the sovereignty of the country, but also future generations. Debt service costs will rise from 307.2 billion to 397 billion in 25-26. And as we know, rapidly rising debt service costs crowd out much needed social expenditure and delivery of services. The higher borrowing costs and contingent liabilities of SOEs, particularly Eskom, also pose significant risks to the fiscal framework. The rapidly rising public sector wage bill is also a matter of concern. Should the negotiations not result in a wage agreement in line with Treasury's projections, state expenditure and the fiscal framework will be out, which will impact the fiscal consolidation.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Your time is up. Thank you.